god, dude, like, this game killed me.
Why?
Okay, so, for those of you that are listening, today we're here to talk about Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance. Lehew here, who reviewed this game because he's the only one on the crew who has a 3DS. But
Trey here over Facebook chat, yeah?
Yeah, and we're going to talk about this game, which this is going to be a tough review because I'm going to review the basic aspects of the game, and when I get through all the basic aspects, I am going to warn anyone who's listening, I will go into the spoiler kind of review of the game, because when it comes to the story and some of the gameplay elements, it's hard not to talk about it without spoiling it.
Yeah.
So, we'll just jump right into this, but this is the first installment for the Kingdom Hearts series on 3DS.
Yeah.
It is also, I think, next to 2, my favorite.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
What makes it so good?
Well, I'm the one who actually, with the Kingdom Hearts series, actually played through all the handheld titles. And one of my biggest problems with the handheld titles is that they really don't do much to the basic gameplay that was established in 1 and 2, and they just kind of were, in a way, mundane. I mean, there were some story elements to them, but there really wasn't anything that kept you pushing forward. But this one's a completely new, different type of story. Because this one takes a lot... It adds a lot of new gameplay elements to the core of the Kingdom Hearts gameplay as it is, which is half kind of hack and slash, beat 'em up, but half RPG style. But
well, that seems a cool concept.
What?
That seems like a cool concept.
Well, that's what all these are. That's what all of them have been. But
yeah, but I mean, like, you said this is like your favorite next to 2, and like, did they improve on the hack and slash concept?
Yes, and that's what I'm going to get into. This is the first handheld title, and this is the first title since 2 that I felt really nailed down just that frantic, crazy, just batshit insane combat that I love about this series. I mean, it really is kind of insane when you look back at the scope of everything that's going on when you're playing the game, but before I get into any more specifics, I just realized that I have to talk about just the basic story for everyone here a little bit. Our basic story is that this is the first game set after 2, besides Recoded, which really wasn't a game at all, but I'm going to ignore that.
Yeah.
Basically, what this story is that Riku and Sora are given a task by Yensid to complete the Mark of Mastery exam, which will make them Keyblade Masters.
Yeah.
So that is the basic, as narrow as I can get with this story without just delving into spoiler. Well, no, actually, I can say, so basically what Yensid tells them to do is they have to go into 7 worlds and unlock them from nightmares.
Yeah.
So, where the other stories dealt with more of the heart, this one deals with more of the concept of dreams and sleeping.
Yeah.
That's as basic as I can go into the story without going into the spoiler, which we'll get into later. But with this, this is the first one. There's a lot that supposedly a lot of the game, half of the gameplay elements that I really love in this were taken from Birth by Sleep, which is why I'm kind of I really want to talk to Win about this since he's the only one who played that game.
Yeah.
But basically what we have here is that you get to edit your decks, which is all the commands that you get to do.
Yeah.
And at first, after getting used to it, you use the first level to really get you used to it. After that, it flows like a charm. Pretty much all you have to do is just press the S button to do the command, and then you're good.
Okay.
The thing that this game adds that I really like is 2 things. A new kind of concept called flow motion.
What is that?
It is when you press a Y button, if you jump and you press the Y button, you do a dash. Which, if you dash into a wall, you start bouncing off walls, and, like, let's say you dash into a pole, you can spin on the pole and then spin off the pole and do a killer attack.
Wait, well, because I remember watching people play, like, Birth by Sleep and stuff. Didn't they have flow motion in that, too? I could have swore I saw that.
Kind of. It was a basic mode of flow motion in the last one, and this one they went out of their way to expand on it.
Yeah.
Which... It really helps with getting around in the game, and in sticky situations in combat, it really kind of is a lifesaver.
Yeah.
Because when you use it, you pretty much can't get hit.
Is there like a bar you have to build up, or do you like...
No. You can use it freelance. It's just if there's a wall or a pole around you, you're allowed to use it. That's where the game gets creative, because in the later levels, they make sure there's no walls or poles around you that you can bounce off.
Yeah.
But in the beginning, like, the first level, your first major fight is in a arena with 2 poles, so you pretty much just use that to just destroy. Mm-hmm. But, the other main thing, the flow motion, actually, I really hope they implement that in the future games, because it makes getting around a lot easier. Especially when you're searching for the treasures within the level.
Treasures?
Yeah. That's another thing that this game implements, is that there is a set amount of treasures in each level for Sora and Riku to find. There's usually about 40 in each level for both of them to find, and if you're like me who wants to beat the game 100%, you have to find all of them.
Jesus fucking Christ, 40 in each level?
I told you this game killed me for a week.
Fucking shit, man. Yeah,
so to find all these treasures, the flow motion really helps in finding all these treasures.
Yeah.
And it kind of makes it, like, instead of just walking around trying to find all these things, it makes it a lot faster and easier to find all this. So I really appreciate that they were thinking about that with the gamer.
Yeah.
Another thing that this game implements is Dream Eaters.
Okay.
Now, Dream Eaters are kind of... there's no Heartless in this game. There are no nobodies. The enemy is Dream Eaters, which can be good or bad.
Okay, explain to me the good parts of this, because, I mean, usually a Dream Eater is an enemy and is bad.
Okay, how the game works is they decided to do something really creative and interesting with this Dream Eater concept. The Dream Eaters, when you first meet them in the worlds, are bad guys, but in the first level... a new character explains that given these little pieces that the bad ones drop called Dream Drops, you can create your own good Dream Eaters.
That's cool.
Yeah, so it kind of adds like a little bit of a Pokemon vibe to it, because when you collect these pieces, you get to make your own Dream Eaters who help you in the battlefield. They essentially take the place of Donald and Goofy.
Okay.
Because you get to have 2 at a time, but you can create as many as you want. You can only have 2 at a time with you out on the field, though.
Okay.
But essentially, what these things do is that, like I said, they're Donald and Goofy. They fight, and you can give them magic powers, and it kind of adds like a Pokemon vibe to it, because they can gain EXP and level up just like you can. But there's an interesting concept they do with called Link Points.
Okay.
In which the more you bond with this Dream Eater, they start to give you abilities like magic spells and like defensive and offensive boosts. So it encourages you to like get these link points by being nice to your spirits.
Yeah.
So it kind of does give like a Pokemon type vibe, but it expands on it, and it actually does make you like care about your spirits, because the more you care about them, the better rewards you're going to get.
Right.
And each, there's, I believe, if I remember correctly, there are 60 Dream Eaters in the game, and they each have different abilities they can give you.
That's really cool. I really like that.
Yeah, it's a really, really cool concept, and admittedly, I have to be kind of a pussy here and admit that all these good Dream Eaters, they're all so cute.
Some about your... See,
no,
this is the part of the show...
No, you don't understand. The first one that you make, the first one you make, it's an evil dog that comes at you, so I'm expecting, like, oh, I'm gonna get that and it'll look cool. No, when you make it, it's this little dog that just goes, "Arr, arr, arr, arr," and it flips over on his belly. I was like, oh!
Well,
I can admit.
Side of Lehew.
What?
This is the feminine side of Lehew.
Hey, I'm comfortable with my sexuality, so I don't care.
Okay. I'm not going to comment on that. Okay.
But, basically, and, like, it's really funny where if you do take the time to, like, pet these spirits, you do get link points and you level them up.
Yeah.
So, like, when I'm sitting there looking like a jackass petting this thing with a stylus on the DS, like, you can look at me like I'm an idiot, but it's actually helping me out in the game.
You're playing Nintendogs, basically.
Kind of yes and no. But, okay, so this is where I think I've delved into the game enough, but I'm just going to say this for anyone. I will give my review of the game right now. It's a high full price. The only really complaints I have, I'm going to go into once we get into the spoiler discussion. So I'm warning you all right now. If you plan on playing this game, and you're a huge Kingdom Hearts fan, and you haven't played the game, cut this shit off right now. Because what I'm about to delve into is not only my problems with the game, but it does delve into story specifics and other stuff that retains to the series. So if you don't want to be spoiled, just cut it off. I'll give you 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not my fucking fault if you stayed. Okay. But so let's dive into one major complaint I have with this game is that the story is so hit and miss.
Really?
Yeah. There is parts of the story which really, really, really soar. Nope, no pun intended, but there's parts of this game, like, the level-based stories are actually all really well done. They do bring in some really cool levels, like, the Hunchback of Notre Dame level is actually a lot of fun.
What about the Tron level?
The Tron level? You're gonna hate me for saying this. I thought the Tron level actually had more story development than the actual movie did.
Really?
I shit you not.
Well, the more story than the Tron Legacy.
Yes, more story than the Tron Legacy movie had. I thought it had a much better and clearer story than that whole movie did.
Tron Legacy was still good, but go on.
Yeah, there's actually a really cool battle within the Tron level that, as Sora, you face Tron yourself. Yeah. And Riku, you face a Dream Eater being controlled by Clue.
Okay.
But that level's really well done, and they bring back Pinocchio, which I really hope they stop doing that. Even though they did do something different with the Pinocchio level with Sora's side of it.
Okay.
Because you know how in every other game the Pinocchio level has been inside Monstro.
Yeah.
This side they did that. Remember the theme park that Pinocchio goes to before he gets swallowed by that, where they turn everyone into donkeys?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what you're playing in this time around. Does that reawaken some scary memories from Trayvon's youth?
Yeah.
You're not alone.
Let's not talk about that.
Huh?
Let's not talk about that.
Yeah, you're not
I
alone.
thought Pinocchio was the weirdest fucking little thing I've ever seen when I watched the movie.
Well, on the positive, you're not alone on that.
Okay, good, because otherwise I'd be a pansy if I was the only one.
Oh no, dude, It's weird. Like, I'm the only one who actually loves that movie, and every time I talk to someone about it, like, why didn't you like it? They're like, it was super scary as a little kid. I'm like, that's why I loved it.
Well, no, it's not because it was. I just think it's just because it was creepy as shit.
Yeah, I mean, that's why everyone didn't like it. I was like, but it was creepy to prove a point.
Yeah.
So that's why I still love that movie today, but that's not the point. The levels that there hasn't been a lot of press about in this game is there's a Three Musketeers level.
How was that one?
It was kind of a welcome pace because all the other levels are really dramatic and kind of sad at times, but this level was just went all for comedy.
Okay, that's good. That's comic relief in the game.
Yeah, it really goes all for comedy in a actually really funny way.
Yeah.
And there's even some in jokes to the whole series in that level. Like there's a joke where when Sora and Riku see Mickey, they're just like, King Mickey. He's like, play the part. So there's little in jokes like that I really appreciated and thought was funny. And then the other level is there's a Fantasia level.
Okay, see, now when I think of that, I think it could be not that great, but...
No, so did I. But it's actually the most creative level in the game.
Huh.
Because what they end up doing is that there is no vocal dialogue throughout the whole level. You actually, every time you hit someone, it actually makes the sound of an instrument.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a really cool conceptual idea, and then the last level, well, let me delve into my problems with the story, and then it will explain the last level. Like I said, the story's kind of hit and miss on the whole main story. There's parts of it that make sense, but then there are parts that make no fucking sense at all.
Like, if you were to give a percentage of how much it made sense and how much it didn't, what would it be?
I'd say 50-50.
Really?
Yeah. What I really do appreciate is that it really does pick up right after 2.
Well, that's good.
And at the end of the game, when you get to the final level, you realize that a young Xehanort pretty much fucked over Riku and Sora, and made it so Sora was put in sleep and Riku was put in Sora's dreams.
So that's the ending, basically?
No. That's the story of the game. So when you get to the last level, a young Xehanort explains how his older self predicted all the events of every Kingdom Hearts game that happened, and that Sora would be in his dream today so that he could take him over. If that makes any lick of sense whatsoever.
So wait, so this guy's trying to take over Sora's body, or like Sora?
Yes,
like what?
Pretty much. It explains that the basis of Organization 13 was so Xehanort can split his heart into 13 separate pieces.
Okay.
But when Sora and Riku defeated the organization, he needed a new thing. So he sends his younger self into the past by some completely illogical way.
Yeah.
And makes it so Sora becomes the main vessel for a new Xehanort. But doing this, they pretty much put Sora in the Dark Realm with Ventus, Terra, and Aqua from Birth by Sleep.
Okay.
Yeah, it gets better. So, right as an older Xehanort finally pops up after you defeat the younger Xehanort as Riku, he's about to take over Sora's body, and then out of nowhere pops Axel, who, through, like, pretty quick cutscenes throughout the game that make no sense till that point, Axel is now he's not a nobody anymore. He's gained a heart.
That's good.
So now he's a good guy, and he can wield a Keyblade, which admittedly is one of the most kick-ass Keyblades I've ever seen in a Kingdom Hearts game. And apparently he wanted to change his name to Lee now. I don't get that, but whatever.
Lee?
Yeah, because apparently
he's like, oh, I'm a heart now.
Well, he said they explained that was his name before he became a Heartless.
Well, they better have explained it pretty damn well then.
Okay, so Axel comes in and saves Sora, and this is where the story just gets batshit insane. So, to awaken Sora from the darkness slumber, Yensid explains that since Lehew has passed the Mark of Mastery exam and become a Keyblade Master, he can go into Sora's heart and wake him up by defeating the nightmare within him.
Okay, now, this is the part where I want to know what the nightmare is.
The nightmare, okay, let's get into this. The nightmare is the heartless version of Ventus from Birth by Sleep.
Okay.
That is the final boss of the game, and let me tell you, that is one of my major complaints with the game, is that the final boss, given every boss in the game that is so epic and hard, the final boss is a pushover.
Was he really easy to defeat?
I beat him on the first try.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, see, that's the same thing, like, okay, this is a little bit off subject, but with Kingdom Hearts 2, like, all the bosses that I faced were, like, epic, except for the Pirates of the Caribbean level, but that's a different point. But all the bosses that I faced, like, they were epic, and then you get to the final boss in 2, it's like, wow, I beat this on my first try, even though it was pretty cool, but, I mean, I expected it to be harder. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that really is, because there's a boss fight with Riku, in which you go into Riku's own heart, because you know he's been fighting the darkness for a long time.
Yeah.
He goes into his heart finally, pretty much just to say, fuck this, and kill Ansem out of his heart.
Yeah.
And that is one of the hardest fucking boss fights I have ever had to face. Because it is just, like, he's just like, oh, wait, I have 3 bars of health left. Well, die. Bing, done. I'm not even shitting you. There was a point where I was beating him down. I had, like, full health. I had just used the cure magic. Full health. He points his finger at me. I'm dead.
That's like when you face Sephiroth in 2 with the fucking Death Angel attack he does. Oh my god, that's the first time I've ever thrown my controller. Go ahead.
It really is kind of the same thing. Like, it took me, I counted 31 tries to beat the Ansem boss.
Well, he probably needed to be a higher level.
No, I actually went back and then did a higher level, and then to do it again, like 31 tries, and then I said, let me go level up. When I leveled up 12 levels, and then went to go face him again. It took me 12 tries.
Oh, wow.
It is a hard as fuck fight.
It is.
And when you go off a fight like that, and then you go into the final boss, I mean, I feel like that should have been the final boss of the game, instead of the Nightmare Ventus, because the Nightmare Ventus was kind of a pushover.
Well, I think they wanted to give you a break, because, I mean... Well, but that doesn't make it an excuse to make that the final boss.
No, I see where you're coming from, and I kind of agree, but that doesn't excuse the fact. But
yeah,
another complaint that I do have about the game is that Riku's bosses are way better than Sora's.
Yeah,
virtually you do kind of get the same boss in most of the levels. There's only one where Sora trumps out and has a better boss, and that's when he fights Tron.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm pretty sure fighting Tron would be a lot more.
That's actually a really fun fight.
Yeah.
But for the most part, Riku has more bosses, and his bosses are better. I mean, he fights Ansem, he fights young Xehanort. I'm trying to think. He fights someone else, too, that was really cool. Oh, he fights Lord Frollo from Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Okay, alright. How's that boss fight?
Oh, if you thought Frollo was fucked up in the movies, woo-hoo-hoo! Kingdom Hearts took that to another level. Because in the movies, he's just like, I want to kind of kill all gypsies, but I want to have sex with the one. This movie, it's just death to all.
So he's an insane person, basically.
He makes the guy from the Westboro Baptist Church look sane. I'm not even shitting you. It's that bad. I forget what what's the knight's name in the Hunchback of Notre Dame? The knight that is by his side until he turns good at the end.
Dude, I haven't seen that movie in I don't know how long.
I forget his name too, but he pimp smacks the shit out of him at one point. But that fight was really fun. All in all, though, I mean, I think the thing with this game is that if the story was just a little tighter and not as, I'll just admit it, stupid as it is in some parts, this really would have been a perfect game to me.
Yeah.
But as it stands right now, it's a fucking high full price that took away a whole week of my life, and I don't regret a second of it.
Well, that's dandy duty good.
Now, let's get into the big major spoiler of what the secret ending reveals.
Lay it on me.
The secret ending pretty much tells us, yes, you fuckers, we're giving you Kingdom Hearts 3. Calm your tits, just
Kingdom Hearts 3?
Oh, the end of this game, it spells it out for you. It's coming.
In plain sight, spells it out, huh?
Well, let me explain what happens. The ending pretty much alludes to it because the ending has Riku passing the exam, but Sora not. Yensid explains for Sora to pass the exam, he has to go open the hearts like Riku did to his of Ventus, Terra, and Aqua from Birth by Sleep.
Okay, now, here's where I'm going to say something. Okay, after everything that Sora did in 1 and 2, you're going to sit there and tell me that he didn't pass the test. Now, before you even start talking, that to me is a bunch of bullshit, alright? You know how much suffering he went through in games? Do you understand that?
I do. Trust me.
And then he's like, oh, you have to go open up the hearts of 3 other more people.
Well,
okay.
Well, here's Jensen's logic. Jensen's logic is he let Sora let Xehanort and the others kind of take over his heart with darkness, which you can't do as a Keyblade wielder. Unfortunately, that's what happens in the game. So that's his reasoning. And Sora's not pissed about it. He's like, I completely understand. I need to go train more.
If I was Sora, I'd have been like, what the fuck?
No, he completely understands because he let them take over his heart.
Damn you fucking assholes.
Yeah, but pretty much here's how it spells out Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming. So at the end of the game, Xehanort describes that the Keyblade War will happen again once the 13 Echoes of Darkness and the 7 Echoes of Light are formed. So they know that he's forming the 13 Darknesses, so they're like, fuck, we gotta get 7 Light.
Yeah.
So you understand at the end of the game that it's Riku, Sora, Mickey, and Lee, I guess. Well, no, actually, no, they explained that Mickey doesn't count.
Why?
Because it's the 7 forms of light, or it's something like along the lines of like they have to be human, and Mickey is just like a sage to help them.
Okay.
I don't know, it's fucking convoluted and weird. But so it's those 3, and then the 3 from Birth by Sleep who they have to go reawaken.
Yeah.
But at the end of the game, you see Yensid whisper something in the Riku's ear, and he leaves, and he comes back with Kairi.
Yeah.
Who was able to wield a Keyblade in the second game, and they're going to train her to be a Keyblade master.
Okay, now, as far as I remember from the second one, like, I remember, like, not seeing Kairi throughout the whole fucking game, and then out of nowhere, she appears, I forgot which level it was, but she appears there with a Keyblade in her hand.
I know.
Okay, what the fuck just happened? Did I miss something?
Look, the whole Keyblade, like, wielding and how you're able to do it, even with this game, it's never explained.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, like, she wielded a Keyblade out of nowhere.
Oh, so does Lee / Axel in this new one. I mean, he wields it out of nowhere, and I, like, instead of a moment where you're like, huh, that's peculiar, you're like, what the fuck?
I think what they're trying to, I think it's out of the pureness of your heart. Like, it has to be something to do with your heart, obviously. Because,
right.
I don't know. Like, I think it's out of, like, the pureness or the light of your heart, you know what I mean?
Something like that, yeah. The last thing that I have to say is, when I said they spelled it out that Kingdom Hearts 3 was coming, I wasn't kidding.
Really?
Oh no, they spell it out when you fly through the credits, you have to hit these gold letters, and it spells out like a provital phrase from some book that explains like the next adventure is coming within the definition of your eyes. And pretty much they've come out and said, oh, you dumbasses, we're making it.
Yeah.
So that's how I'm ending this review. Just saying that, you know, great game, high full price, we're getting Kingdom Hearts 3, everyone starts celebrating, it's coming.
Okay, good. Good. Kingdom Hearts 3 finally after, what, like 6 years?
Well, it's the 10th year anniversary this year.
Oh, shit. Man, I was off. Jesus. It's been that long. Think about that. It's been that long.
10 years since we had the first Kingdom Hearts. Fuck, we are getting old.
Oh my god. Dude, I'm too old for this prep.